Hello and welcome to Thursday Newsday, your number one resource for the entire week's worth of VR news. You know, at least the TN still works for Thursday. But so much has happened this couple days in VR news that I'm kinda glad I delayed this one just a little bit. We'll be talking a little bit about patents as Valve just dropped about a dozen new VR related patents. My favorite VR event of all time is back this week, and we're about to hear exactly what Oculus and Facebook have up their sleeves, whether that be a Quest 3 or Quest Pro or AR glasses. All that and so much more, let's just get right into the news. So first off, I want to talk about my favorite VR event every year, and that's Virtual Market, also known as VCAT. Right now, if you hop into VR chat, there's a massive worldwide event taking place where you can try on or buy hundreds of avatars, assets, or just look at other people's amazing creations and attend a bunch of events taking place during VCAT. I urge you, even if you hate VR chat, to go check it out. I really promise you won't be disappointed. It's just an amazing time to look at a ton of really innovative VR worlds, venues, art, and more, and all you have to do is load up VR chat, open up your worlds menu, and start exploring. It's all free, unless you want to buy something, of course. Virtual Market 6 runs from August 14th to August 28th, so go check it out. You may even see me in there. If you do just want to check it out with me though, I will be exploring VCAT 6 on Twitch today after this video goes live, so come on by and check it out if you'd like. But now, on to Oculus. For months now, we've been hearing about small leaks and tidbits from Mark Zuckerberg and Andrew Bosworth about new products from Oculus and Facebook Reality Labs. We've heard things like Quest 3 and Quest Pro, and a lot of stuff on augmented reality glasses and smart glasses. Well, we're about to know exactly what's going on over at Oculus. Every year for the past 8 years or so, Facebook and Oculus hold a massive event, previously called Oculus Connect, now called Facebook Connect, and at that event they announce everything they've been working on and will be releasing in the coming year. The date was just announced for this year's Facebook Connect, and it will be taking place on October 28th of this year, so in just about 2 months, we're getting the full scoop on everything coming from Oculus. Also, every year I live stream the event on my Twitch and talk about it extensively. It's really super fun and exciting, and it's one of my favorite times every year. Plus, you get to hear about everything first. So let's talk about this year's Connect. Last year, Oculus announced a brand new headset, that's the Oculus Quest 2 that we all know today, and they talked a lot about augmented reality. And I think this year, augmented reality will take a big seat at Facebook Connect. Just for disclosure, everything here is purely prediction and nothing more. It could happen or it could not. But now that that's out of the way, I do believe that an Oculus Quest Pro will be announced this year, featuring likely the same XR2 chipset that's in the Quest 2, with a better cooling solution allowing for a higher clocked XR2, something that John Carmack has talked about pretty extensively. Also very possible are new lenses for the Pro that may allow for a higher field of view and better clarity, as an industry report back in June claimed that Facebook put in a massive order for a new lens design for a device to be launched in 2022. Also, something else I predict just makes total sense are some sort of full-color RGB pass-through cameras. With Oculus recently opening up the pass-through API for mixed reality content, it only makes sense to provide RGB pass-through rather than the current black and white that we have now. That just makes way more sense for a business segment, and if the name is Pro, then I'm guessing it's somewhat professional, but that could just be a marketing term. Full color pass-through with mixed reality is an incredibly sought-after feature for businesses. This Quest Pro, or whatever it's called, will likely be more expensive than the current Quest 2 and will likely launch next year in 2022 and be announced this October. One other thing that I'm personally hoping for is a higher quality beefed up head strap, perhaps something more similar to the Pico Neo 3 that I just took a look at. Next on Facebook Connect is smart glasses. It's extremely likely that a set of smart glasses will be announced and launched at Facebook Connect, as Facebook has already said they planned on a 2021 launch for a set of smart glasses in partnership with Ray-Ban and Luxottica. They have also already said that these very glasses will be their next product launch. However, it's unknown how the pandemic will affect this launch and if 2021 is still the date. Last year, about half of Facebook Connect was primarily on the topic of AR and smart glasses, so we kind of have an idea of what these glasses will be capable of. And we already know that these are not augmented augmented reality glasses. More than likely, they will not have a display, and they will also not be capable of something like 6DoF tracking like we see on Nreal AR glasses. Instead, these will likely be glasses with a smart assistant that have a microphone, some sort of speaker, and may or may not contain a camera. This is extremely similar to the Snapchat Spectacles or Amazon Echo frames that allow you to use Alexa anywhere and listen to music through your glasses, and really just serve as an assistant. And these glasses are, as Mark Zuckerberg says, part of Facebook's journey towards full augmented reality glasses in the future, and have been something they've been working on for quite a while. Not really much else is known about what else will be announced at the event, but those are my basic predictions as of now. AR capabilities for the Quest 2 and an upgraded Quest Pro, with the biggest features being color pass-through and upgraded lenses for 2022, and the launch of Facebook's first smart glasses this year. But we'll see in just about 2 months. I've actually got quite a bit more Oculus-related news and the Valve patents, but first, it's time for a meme break! So, I came across this video on Reddit, and it seems a guy convinced his mom to try and drive with a VR headset on using pass-through to see. And of course, it went totally fine.
Oh my god.
Oh man, please don't try this at home, kids. Actually, one more meme! Turns out a lot of people are buying the Oculus Quest 2, but they're not actually using it for use in VR, or using it at all. There's a problem with Facebook, and pretty much if your Facebook account gets hacked, there's really nothing you can do about it. There's no proper support number or even email for Facebook or Instagram, and there's definitely no support line. But if you do buy a Quest 2, you now have access to a customer support team that will maybe help you retrieve your hacked account back, and then the people return their unopened, unused Quest 2s back to the store. I found this to be a hilarious loophole that a lot of people are actually using. Some are having success and some aren't, but still funny. But now, back to the news. Do you guys remember Facebook Horizon? It was the social VR application that Oculus announced 3 years ago at Oculus Connect 6 to pretty lukewarm reception. It was very vanilla and lacked a lot of the features that we already enjoyed on other social applications like Rec Room and VR Chat, and Horizon never really saw the full light of day. Well, it seems like the project has pivoted into something called Horizon Workrooms, but that's not before a small blunder on Twitter. Something interesting is that when the official Oculus account on Twitter announced the dates of this year's Facebook Connect, they stated Facebook Connect is coming to you live in Horizon and Facebook Live. Duh. Well, that tweet was quickly deleted after they realized Horizon hasn't even been released yet, although maybe this points to Horizon being officially released for the event. We'll see, I guess, but something else was announced, and that's Horizon Workrooms. Essentially, it's a Facebook-hosted VR Zoom call space, allowing for presentations to be made or media to be presented in a professional-looking setting. And last up for Oculus news, Lone Echo 2 was delayed again. I think this is the fourth or so time this game has been delayed. It was originally announced in 2018 as a follow-up to still one of my favorite VR games, Lone Echo, and was slated to be released in August 24th of this year, but has been delayed to late 2021 as the final Rift platform exclusive from Oculus. Honestly, the first game was so good that Ready at Dawn can take as long as they need to release Lone Echo 2. I've already been waiting this long, I can wait a little longer to see some good polish. Just please, please don't cancel it. Now let's touch briefly on these new Valve patents because there's quite a lot. I've been talking about a ton of Valve stuff recently as the Steam Deck was recently announced, and patents related to VR have been all over the place from Valve. A quick warning though, patents are patents and they don't mean much until we see an actual product announcement, but it is an interesting peek into what Valve has planned, and if you want my full predictions, then last week I talked about it more extensively. Nearly a dozen new patents dropped that specifically mention new lenses, eye tracking, and how all of these systems work together. I'm going to make this very brief as this video is already running long, and I'm working on a full Valve patent mega video that goes over everything in depth. But basically, using polarized layers within a lens, Valve is trying to accomplish something very similar to the varifocal lenses that Oculus showed off years ago, bringing a more natural look to VR images, but without any moving parts. Where Oculus used physically moving lenses to accomplish this, Valve is looking to polarize different sections and layers of the lens. This allows for far better depth of field, closer to how we actually look at things with our eyes. Also, this fully explains the eye tracking mentioned in every single other patent. Lenses like this are only possible using eye tracking. There are also a ton more details here, like micro LED displays, lens capability and details, and tracking information within all these patents, but like I said, I could very well take an entire 14-minute long video explaining all of this to do it justice. I just wanted to mention a pretty massive breakthrough in these patents showing off these polarized lenses and keep you updated as the information heats up. So let's talk about HTC. We all know them in the VR industry for making the HTC Vive in 2016 alongside Valve, and all of their subsequent headsets like the Vive Pro and Cosmos for better or worse, but HTC actually used to be a respected, globally recognized smartphone manufacturer, fighting off Apple and Samsung a decade ago. But times have changed and HTC was practically squeezed out of the smartphone market, now holding less than 0.01% of the global market share. Over the past few years though, HTC has become more or less a VR company or XR company, using a $1 billion investment from Google back in 2017 to really dig out a niche in exchange for Google acquiring its ODM design team and access to its smartphone supply chain, which is likely how the Pixel line really shaped up to the thing it is today. But back on HTC. VR is its business, and to many, HTC has made some questionable decisions regarding consumer VR, leading to the past years HTC taking pretty big financial losses. But things have been looking up with both the Focus 3 and HTC Vive Pro 2's launch. Two headsets really designed and made not for the consumers in particular, but for enterprise applications and high-end VR. And it seems to be paying off and keeping the company afloat. Not prospering, but surviving. Although this monthly report does show that HTC receives huge gains off the heels of product launches and quickly drops after the launch. See June and July. HTC is an interesting company, one that believes in really commercializing VR and bringing VR into every business it can, and I can really respect that. They are surviving, which is probably news to a lot of people, as I know some people wonder how a company can still be operating with a continually dropping market share and low consumer adoption rate after product launches. Well, they're not so much selling to you. They're selling to companies looking to implement VR into their company's workspace, and really in the grand scheme of things, it's just more hardware manufacturers making VR. And like I said, they are surviving. But now it's time for question of the week. From Rick, you mentioned you could confidently say that Valve would be getting into the standalone VR market within the next year. Is this realistic with supply shortages and the fact that we have no clue how far, if anywhere, they are in development? And yeah, what I mean more about Valve getting into standalone is I expect them to be announcing a standalone, or more correctly stated, an all-in-one headset within the next year. Of course, supply shortages have a massive impact on everyone in the industry, and Valve is no exception. But I do still imagine that a year from now, we're going to be all talking about what the Valve project is that's been hinted at for the past year. I don't necessarily see a product launch coming really soon, as Valve is obviously focused on the Steam Deck, but something is coming and it's going to be relatively huge. If we don't see a launch, I can imagine we'll be hearing about specifics from Valve within the year. Not this year, but within 365 days. Other than that, I will be streaming VCAT 6 today after this video, so stop on by my Twitch and check it out with me. Also, come on by my Discord server to meet fellow VR fans like yourself. Don't forget to like this video if you loved it, subscribe if you want more of this, and hit that freaking bell if you just can't live without it. Much love, Thrill out.